Well, I got first place again in the locals tournament, and I switched up my deck completely from the last build I put up. It was too open, if you can say. But the change, they thought I was playing the same build, the same way. And if you do that, that's up to you to play what you want to play. But I'm always trying to innovate my deck and playing different. And if people know you play a certain style, then obviously change it up if it's not working, or they know you too well. So people didn't see this build coming at all, caught them off guard, and again, the element of surprise always favors you. I won every dice roll. I won. They couldn't play at all when they went. Today was my day. Today was my day. We all have days we don't do so well. We have days we do so. We all have days we lose that dice roll, which matters. But today was my day. And I'm going to try to get into the video quick. Um, and then show you some replays of kind of the stuff I did at locals. So now I'm waiting for regionals to come up. Hopefully one soon in New York City. So we can hit that up and then test it there and see how far we go there. See if we don't let nobody play there at all. So let's just get into it. Extra deck and so forth. So we got the one Wind Dragon Ra. I love playing with these. I played it without it, but I love it with it more. So reason being Ra is fear mode. I can fear mode them and just clear boards that are problems without having to do much. And even though this gives up our normal summon, the spell cards let you bring out more cards anyway, so you can still go full combo if you have the spell card in hand and break their field. But now this time around, playing 3 Bowers, he is a starter, so you can one card him and not be locked into Light Warrior, so you can go into your extra deck of Utopia monsters. Also running 2 Summoners Monk, same reason being, he's your 1 card starter. I prefer him though, because you can tribute him, he brings out 2 monsters. If you bring out Summoners Monk, you have to chuck a spell card to bring out a monster. So you go in egg 1. If you summon him and they negate him, it's just him, and you can still keep going if you have the spell and so forth. Also Ash Bay, if you have the spell in hand, same with this. But this lets you go into other cards for combos, which I do love. And our Arc Rebellion Dragon, which I love point blank. So another 1 card starter at the cost of discarding a card, but it's fine because it recycles, so you really don't go negative. And if you have all your knights in the graveyard, all your kings and queens, you can summon Summoners Monk, discard. Even if they negate him, this is still in graveyard to recycle back. You don't have it, we could speed it out. So you can kind of say it's like having 5. But this does it without the restrictions. This has restrictions. This is just to speed it out, so it's only fine at 2. And then it speeds it up, and then you have 2 cards to just keep consistently recycling. And then we got our 2 queens. Only run it at 2. And 2 kings. I'm not trying to brick that much, but this works for me. Might not work for you. You might not like it this way, but you play what you like, how you want your way. This is my deck. I play it my way. It's been very successful the way I play it. Your deck could play played your way and might work for you. 1 reinforcements of the army. And this is basically it for the knight support. So it's like you're going to get the 2 recyclings from these. 1 card starter, and this is basically, that's what it is. So for the Utopia, 1 ZS accession. And this is perfect. Like I said, you could ditch one of the spell cards, you could bring him out, and then you search your rank up spell basically. Or you can go into Astrotopia to search your draw card. And this is a free starter at board too, so if you have this in hand, or and 1 king or queen, or even if you have both queens and his in hand, you can special this and go into it, and then you're bringing out your rank up card, and you're still going for plays. And that's why we run are two Zexus, and this is good in so many ways. So you can put back if you have king and queen in hand, which is making you not this not playable. You could put this, put one of your both. Let's say you have both queens. You could put back one on your queen, and then you can search out either the rank up spell. You can even search out another one of this if you have everything in hand. You could put back queen and go for ZS. So you have your rank up card and it's a free card on board. So that's why I like running it at 2. And not only that, it fixes the problem with double or nothing. If double or nothing was in your hand, which normally that card loves being in my hand, you can just play this, put double or nothing back, search out an extension or the rank up spell, which we play it at 1. The rank up spell, also double or nothing at 1. So it fixes my problem I always had. So like, as long as you could keep drawing, and you draw a lot in here, you draw this, you could just put back double or nothing, and then you can continue playing and going into your combo. Or whatever the case is like, it just helps unbrick your hand so you can still go with plays. And then for our spell card that we draw is XYZ change. And I like it at 3. You can say this is a 4th. So it's like you're gonna just spam out one monster. Like even one card play of Bauer, you're just gonna continue drawing. Excuse me. And my thing was, I was just watching my field and trying to learn other cards. And I'm like, I can't spam out monsters to negate. But then I was thinking, what can I really do? And then I was like, counter traps. It popped in my head, counter traps. And then I was like, if I draw enough counter traps, I can have one negate on the field with a certain monster. And then if I have, this would be on the field obviously, and if I have 4 counter traps, because I'm drawing into it, my counter traps stop everything, so they can't chain anything else to it except another counter trap. And red reboot is banned, and I miss it because I can just continue to OTK with it, but it's like there's no red reboot to stop us from my build, so that caught people off guard, and they said they wish red reboot was here still. But now we're gonna get into our counter traps. So I'm running 2 Draco Utopians. It just negates monsters on the field, but if they have a big boss and you already have that set, or even if you have this set and they have that and you have sphere mode, you can play this, sending a spell, special queen, and if they have something to negate it, this can negate it, and they can't chain anything further unless they have a counter trap, like I said. And then you can discard a monster. So it's like you could special queen, sphere mode their field when you search out king, and then you have king in hand to banish. If you want to play this to negate their monster and take control of it permanently, but its effect is negated. 3 Solemn Judgments. That negates any spell, trap, or certain monster summoning. And then the card I love for the recycling is Ultimate Providence. And the reason I love this card with this deck is because it's a counter trap that negates by discarding. So if you discard a spell for it, you negate the spell, and then this recycles. So it's like you're getting more out of your graveyard, and you're going to get it back. And then if you have the trap card in hand while this is on field, you can negate their trap by discarding Joker's Wild, and then Joker's Wild is going to recycle. If you have the monster, Joker's Knight, you can discard Joker's Knight to negate their monster effect, and then that comes back too. But in this build, I haven't used Joker's Knight, and it's just spam out the 4s, so that's what it's focused on. Sphere mode is just to break fields, and it's counter trap. So like I said, another counter trap I like playing is Curse Seal of the Forbidden, and this was helping me even when they played, not now, but I was playing this build, testing it beforehand, and playing hard with when Mystic Mine was still here. So I was like, negate Mystic Mine, or if they play any spell card that you know their deck is going to play and rely it on, you can play Curse Seal of Forbidden spell, discard your spell. It's going to recycle. Not only that, you permanently negating their spell card for the rest of the duel, that duel. So it's like, with these 2 cards is what I thought of, and then these are just extra. So like, if you have the field set up, you can't do nothing, and then it's like you're drawing. You can draw 7 to 10 cards in this build. I'd say 7 cards max, if you have everything that you need. And then the 40th card is Harpy's Fighter Lister. And I try to keep mine at 40 so I consistently see my strategy and combo of basically drawing. And then you want to draw your counter traps, you set up big monsters on board, and then they basically can't play, because if you have the right setup, you're going to have one monster negate that negates spells, and then you're going to have 4 counter traps face down that's negating 5 of their cards, and they have 6, so it's like they're not going to play, and that's what I didn't let them do today, play. And I'll showcase the combos too. So that's it for the monsters. Real simple. Like I said, you can adjust things your way, but I've been finding my cards successful, the build I play. So, getting into the extra deck. 1 Utopia Beyond. Double. This is the main monster that's just gonna spam out so many cards if you have what's needed. 2 39s, so you can draw 7 cards. I'll showcase the combo. I don't have the other one, so it's like I substituted 39, which is perfectly fine and works just as well. It's just to overlay on Utopia just to draw another free card, and there's times you bring out a second Utopia, so you bring out this is like 2 more free cards, so max cards you can draw is like 7. 1 S39 Lightning. There's times I bring out both, so 2 99s. Most of them are Utopia monsters. Then we got our number 99. You can use this with a rank up spell. You can get rid of, you could bring out 30 Utopia, go into C39, play the rank up spell by discarding it, and using this as material, you can bring him out. And then he has 4 negates that anything that targets just him by detaching. And then he could bring back any Exceed monster from the graveyard, but its effect is negated permanently. So you could use him to even negate a Utopia. Use a Utopia to negate, bring that Utopia back on your turn, or if it's already your turn, and then go into 39, and then go into this card, and then Lightning. So it's like just stacking. This is also part of an OTK. It's a 1 card OTK with, as long as they have 2 monsters, then you go second. So then Hope Harbinger, which comes out with 99. This is the 1 spell card negate I said. I also like playing number 35. I don't know why this card called to me, and I figured out how to use it in a 2 card combo for OTK, going first or second. All depends on what they have. If they're wide open, you could just OTK them with this. You will go into your Joker's Knight. Your Bauer would go into the combo of bringing out double, going into Beyond, going into 39, pay the spell card. Because if any monster comes out with him, he can't attack directly. But basically, you're stacking 4 under this 99, and then detach 2, bring out him, and then you're both at 8,000. But then you use your spell card Joker straight to bring out this card, and then this card gives up all your life points but 500. So you just have a gigantic board, and since 99 brought out this card, only 99 can attack directly. Your other monsters cannot attack directly. They can attack monsters, but they can't attack directly. So basically we're just juicing 99 up. And then since we have Summoners Monk, it also lets me play my other favorite card of Raider's Knight, which is not my favorite, but I love going into for free, Arc Rebellion Dragon. So since we have the Summoner package, like we could put this in, you could substitute cards out, which is why I have in my extra deck, when they're playing Burn, you can substitute one of them out, or you could take out both of them and substitute 14 for Burn decks, but Mystic Mind is gone now, so it's not really, Burn cards shouldn't be a threat, but if they are, I like substituting this in, and you could bring a Fortress since you bring out Exceed monsters like crazy, but he locks you into Exceed monsters, so on the following turn, obviously, play him unaffected by monsters, 4,000k, and just a beast. So let's get into our extra deck, side deck. And I'm running to get rid of problematic cards that are continuous. Supernatural Danger Zone. Basically, when you special queen, when you play either Bower or Joker straight, and you special queen, when a normal monster is special summon, you get to pop a card, and then this card gets destroyed and sent to the graveyard. You get to special summon a normal vanilla monster out. So you basically special summon queen, but it's popping power of one special summon your queen. That's the only normal summon. You get to pop a card. So when Mystic Mine was being played, I was using this to out Mystic Mine, so I could still keep playing. And just to shut off spell cards is if they're playing spell cards heavily, spell canceller. And you can even set it up where you have a big board, your counter traps, and if you didn't use your normal summon, you could just bring out spell canceller. To Guiltia, this is to speed out Jinzo, because you can discard the spell or trap that recycles regardless. And you can search a dark machine card, level 6, so obviously we're going to search out Jinzo, so we could shut down trap decks. So it's really to shut down trap decks, spell decks, out anything really. To Vanity's Ruler, if you want to side out one of the cards and stop them from special summon. If you're playing a deck that just special summons crazily, it's like if they're a trap heavy deck, you have the solution. They are a spell heavy deck, you have the solution. If they summon monsters heavily, you have the solution. And then these were the other two cards I showed. So I'll showcase you some combos on the computer. Give me a second. And let's do, like I said, Jinzo. Well, let's look at my deck now. So searching out just the deck then. We bring out King, Queen, and Bower. There is no. So that's 1 draw, 2 draw, 3 draw, 4 draw, 5 draw, and we drew 5. So we curse seal. So I should have waited, but either way. Sometimes even just 2 or 3 negates they can't get out. So it's like you just beast. But if you bring him out with double, you can't attack directly. And then if you use his effect, none of the other monsters can attack directly. So you're in a soft spot. And this, like I said, you can play and just fear mode them. Just wait for the right time. So it's like a mini Nibiru. And this is why I love him. You can tribute him on their turn or your turn with your trap card. And I like it because it gets rid of the problems. And he was taking his super time, so he just lost out of time. Let's do too much. Draw our spell. We're gonna draw 1 and search. Draw 2. Draw 3. And then we bring him out till we get our spell. Draw 4. Play, draw 5. He don't draw, but he brings something back. And he's a negate for just him. So draw 6. And then we played our spell. And they can only target him, and he could drop their attack. So, and he still has a spell. So let me pause here. Like basically, out of all of that, we have a negate. We're gonna summon the spell monster negate, and then we have a negate, 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 negate. So that's 4 set negates, and then we're gonna have a spell negate. So it's like they can't do nothing. And look at that. From 1 monster and 1 spell. Look at all of this. And I like this. Let's do Summon Smoke. There's like so many videos I want to showcase. Like the deck has so many potentials, and I had this in, but I took it out for the tournament. I just wanted to stick to at least as close as 40 as possible. I mean, you can add more if you want. You want to go 45? I just feel comfortable with 40 cards, so you can see your strategy. I feel like 45 is, for me, is I'm not seeing the cards I want to see. But that's good. Like if you don't have the continuous spell, you can set up the 3, and then play and just draw 3. But I want to see the drawing with which drawing the traps. That's the combo I want to see. So if I go off unpunished, then there's nothing they can do. Like here, I negated 3, and then he just summons, but negate, and then he brings up monsters, but he can't do nothing. So it just surrenders. Like it's inevitable. Let's do Ra. And then I think I have the combo for the OTK on video, so you can just see it on video. And this is another one where it was annoying, but Sphere Mode came in handy and clutch. And then, like I said, I have no hand, but I love the recycling. So like as long as they can't finish you off, it's like they're done for. And then you keep going. And then draw. Even in the gate, I chain to it. And keep going. Yeah, playing through stuff, like they're not stopping me. But you have to know the deck. You have to know your deck. This deck I played my way, and you have to know your deck. Know what you want to do, what you can do, and it's all up to you in every situation. It's up to you. And bust out Raw. Let's do. Where is it? Is it this one? It might be this one. If I'm showing it again, I apologize. Oh no, see? And then I play the spell, so he boosts me, and since I'm using life points, he's just powering on my mouse, and he's the only one who can attack. So then I give up my life points, and look at that. 42,000 life points, so that's the OTK. But I'll show you it, so you can see on a slower pace. And it's basically, it will be the spell card and anything to discard with Bower. Yeah. So you would normal summon Bower, activate effects, bring out Special Queen, search King. No, you special summon both of them. Or since it's Bower, I was taking the spell. But you basically bring them out, 2 out, you overlay. Oh wait, I did do something wrong. You do need the rank up spell or the monster that will bring it out in either combo. So you still need anything to discard and the spell. So we can do this properly. So bring them out. Bring out Utopia double. You detach. You get double or nothing. And then you go into Utopia. Then you go into 39. It sets up for it. So then you play the spell card, which allows you to go to 99, and since he's brought out with the spell card, he can attack directly, but any XC monster he used to bring out his effects, they can attack directly. So only he can. So basically use 2, detach, and that brings out number 35 with his effects. And right now your life points are the same as theirs, but then you're gonna play the spell card, anything to discard, bring out you're gonna bring out your second king or queen. I dropped the card, so sorry. And then overlay for Cavalier or whatever his name is. Then you're gonna use his effects to give up all your life points until 500, and then during battle, any monster you select will get doubled. And since you gave up all your life points and they're still at 8,000, you have 500 left. That's a 7,500 difference. His effect is built in and it's automatic. It's not activating or anything. It's just all your monsters gain 7,500 attack points. So that puts him at 10,500. And then since he's the only exceed card that can attack because he brought him out. You're basically gonna juice him up. Not that he's already 10,500. So then that 10 will become double. He'll become 20,500, 21,000, and then just OTK from there. And you can do this in multiple different ways. And the other OTK, even if you just have the spell card, it requires you to have. It requires them to have 2 monsters, and if they're not a problem, negating wise, you just need, let's say, the spell card and anything to discard, and you'll discard the other card, use its effects, bring out your king and queen, overlay for double or nothing, and then you go into your double, and then your double, like, you discard, search double or nothing, then you bring him out, and like I said, they need 2 monsters, so that's why it's the OTK, and you don't have to worry about the rank up spell. You could just bring him out regularly with him. He would juice him up to 6,000 since you're bringing him out this way, and then use his effect, detach 2, and you bring out Utopia Beyond, and this is considered an XYZ summon. So once he summoned, his effect kicks in to drop them to 0. So even if they have 2 monsters, no matter what it is, if they can't do nothing, you do the 1 card combo, and you bring him out. He'll be 6,000 due to him, and then you use his effect to bring him out, and he drops them to 0, and that will be 6,000 plus the 3,000. That's 9,000. And due to him coming out with his effect, monsters can't attack directly, so this is what requires them to have 2 monsters. And then you attack for the 3,000, and he can't attack directly because of him anyway, so they need 2 monsters in attack mode. So he'll attack, and that's 9,000 damage right there, and that's basically it. So this is the build I've came up with, and I kept catching people off guard, and if they can't play through your counter traps, if you draw all your counter traps, then I don't know what to say, but this is what I came up with my way of how I changed my deck. So that is my updated. At this point, I don't know what to call it, honestly. But what I like calling it and love calling it is my Arcana Knights of Ra deck profile, I guess, featuring Utopia. So you could write a deck idea and name in the profile, but I mean in the comment section. But this is my Arcana Knights of Ra deck profile featuring the Utopia cards.